Surprise! Before we close out 2023, I wanted to make a dedicated top 10 list for the de facto reigning queen of mainstream pop, Taylor Swift. When I did my top 10 general hits list, I was so tempted to have Taylor on there twice, but then I realized she released enough new music to have her own list. This is a loose ranking of vault tracks and singles that she dropped this year. If I counted songs from previous years, this would be a completely different list with Reputation owning at least 3 different spots, maybe next year when Taylor's version drops. Here we go! Number 10. Released as part of the Till Dawn version of Midnights, this version of Snow on the Beach adds back the Lana-verse that fans were waiting for. Lana would reveal in November that she was actually all over the original track, it just so happened that she was an expert voice mimic, and she was there the whole time. But in this more Lana version, there's no major changes to the lyrics or the structure of the song aside from Lana taking over the second verse. Her delivery is heavenly, the choice to sing it in a harmonic melody was very inspired, they really did turn up the mic and give her space to really make that verse feel like it was hers. The ad-libs in the back and the ornamented vocals throughout the track really give the song a more complete and ethereal vibe. I truly believe that had this been the original version of the song would have been ranked a lot higher with fans last year. Lana's version adds a mystique and wonder to the track that was there already but enhances it. Number 9. This was the only vault track this year to get a music video. I Can See You is definitely a special track. The lyrics and production definitely scream early 2010s. There's very solid Speak Now DNA on it, but it does feel like a bridge between Speak Now and Red. The guitar riff that forms the backbone of the track is very catchy. The lyrics are surprisingly sensual and playful. This would have definitely been scandalous in 2010. It peaked at number 5 and had a pretty stunning music video that really spoke to the master's issue that started this whole Taylor's version saga to begin with. Jack Antonoff's production feels really fresh here. I really do like the nice throwback to the indie rock sounds of the early 10s again. One connection I never really made is how in some ways this is a predecessor to the perfection that is Style. The rocky riff, the slick lyrics, one thing that I really love about the vault process is seeing Swift's process and journey through the years. Some of the other vault tracks also feel like prototypes to the legendary hit songs that we've come to know and love. I Can See You carries a lot of roots that end up leading to 1989, Reputation, and future records. Number 8. Another Speak Now vault track that really caught my eye is this charming sweet ode to one of the best living actresses of our time, Emma Stone, if the rumors are true. This one's just so sweet and descriptive, you really get an understanding of Emma as a character and as a person. It's part Today Was a Fairy Tale, it's part proto-folklorian Taylor Swift. Embracing the role of a loving narrator, it really does feel like hearing updates from a friend about their best friend. I really found it catchy, the country elements like the banjo and instrumentation squarely put this in Speak Now's timeline. It really does feel like a peek into 19-year-old Taylor's diary in some ways, it's just a very wholesome evaluation of a friend. The line, "and the bad boys would be good boys if they had a chance to love her," is very telling. Emma could change the bad guys, but she doesn't give them the time of day. The lines, "and to tell you the truth, sometimes I wish I were her," really does paint the admiration and love. But it's also lines like "when Emma falls in love, I'm learning," that really contextualizes another vault track that I'm going to talk about later. Number 7. All of the 1989's vault tracks really hit hard for me, but Say Don't Go is the one that I find myself re-listening to more and more. Co-written with Diane Warren, this track really follows the 1980s mode of songwriting. There's a robust structure where we get verse, refrain, pre-chorus, chorus, post-chorus, repeat, and there's even a minimalistic bridge. Many complain that the song is too long, but that's how music used to be. The hook's so clean and simple, these cutting questions really emphasize the hurt that she's been through. Sonically, it does resemble the kind of music that Phil Collins made in his heyday. I couldn't help but think of her cover of Can't Stop Loving You. Antonoff's production on this one feels distinct from his other vault tracks. Lyrically, it treads some similar ground to All You Had to Do Was Stay. I feel like in an alternate universe, this could have been track 5 on 1989. Number 6. Where Say Don't Go gets too long complaints, Now That We Don't Talk is way too short. In fact, it is the shortest song in her discography. It's a funky disco synth pop track that really rips apart her ex while touching on the awkwardness of seeing a lover become a stranger in real time. The gloss of the production confirms that Midnights is really 1989's proper pop descendant. Imagine if Mastermind had a cooler, funkier, meaner sister. I found the structure to be a bit odd due to its short length. The track does make some interesting twists and turns that make you want to put it back on. We get 2 solid verses before a chorus that really sounds unique. Swift's use of the falsetto on I Call My Mom and onwards is a meta reference to the mask that her ex is taking on. The outro and its mean spirit really does sell the song for me. I mean, the takedowns about acid rock, mega yachts, and men and their important thoughts. It's very fun, and it's an ending that grimly foreshadows her later period of disappearance into a mystery post-1989. Number 5. The final Speak Now vault track on this list is Foolish One. It's a song that I felt was the strongest track because of its simplicity and relatability. It feels like a more innocent take on August, where the narrator of the song realizes that she's been foolish to think that this guy was the one. The clean imagery of this lovelorn young woman running to her mailbox, waiting for love letters and confessions, only to find nothing is devastating. You can actually sing Please Don't Be in Love with Someone Else during the pre-chorus. The track's extremely catchy on first listen. Its chorus is easy to sing along to, and it's a really universal song that I think anyone could really relate to. I hadn't realized that Foolish One and When Emma Falls in Love can really tie into each other. Emma represents the inverse of the song's point of view. She waits and she plays with a self-awareness, knowing that things can go wrong, whereas the foolish one in the song dives in headfirst, hopelessly romantic. It's only after having her heart broken do the voices saying she's not the only exception and that she'll never learn her lesson really come true. I also really love the hopeful, bittersweet ending stating that the day is gonna come for our narrator, but he just wasn't the one. It's very touching. Number 4. Leaked earlier in the year and then finally dropped when the Eras tour kicked off, All of the Girls You Loved Before is a scrapped lover track that I think really should have made the final cut. It's this very sweet synth pop ballad that speaks to the themes of Lover very well. The production by Swift, Bell, and Dukes really feels like an ode to the doo-wop sound period. The lyrics are very saccharine yet simple. What really makes this track so nice is the gratitude that Swift projects on here, the sheer love for the women and the circumstances that have made this man the one for her. It's just very mature and wholesome. Rather than lament about these exes, she embraces the fact that without these past loves and past lives, she wouldn't be here today being loved the way that she wants to be. Speaking of past lives, feel free to check out that film. I really enjoyed it. It actually fits the themes of the song pretty well and is just a good film. Number 3. You're Losing Me was one of the year's biggest surprise. It was a vault track for Midnight's itself. I made 2 videos this year questioning if Midnight's was a breakup record, but this track more or less lends credence to that theory, especially after Jack Antonoff revealed that it was recorded towards the end of 2021. But parasocialness aside, this is one of Taylor Swift's best breakup anthems to date. It's a very mature and modern all too well for the 2020s. Swift invokes some career-long motifs and metaphors, particularly the one of being a soldier in the battle of love, to create a mini Eras tour of emotions in one track. While it's not officially a track 5, but a standalone release that was included on the late night edition, I consider it a future classic. I've seen some brilliant edits for the song for Ships, I Wouldn't Marry Me Either, Pathological People Pleaser. It remains one of my favorite lyrics of the year. It really borders the line of personal and universal, and it's Swiftie and magic. Number 2. Cruel Summer is an enduring track that I've already made a whole video about. To be able to see this track make it to its rightful place 4 years later after it came to us, that was one of my favorite pop moments of the year. Cruel Summer is going down in history as one of Swift's signature songs. It's on the same level of canon, in my honest opinion, as Style and Blank Space in terms of fan love, even though it's a newer track. Brilliance can never truly be hidden. When it is discovered or rediscovered, it takes its place. Before we go reveal number 1, here are a few older tracks that really clicked with me this year. This one is just so lush and anthemic and relatable. It's one of the most adult songs ever about crushing on someone. Absolute banger. The way that the pre-chorus just disappears the second time, it keeps you on your toes. Delulu Girls, Rise Up. I had a brief summer crush and this was on repeat. Just Carly Rae Jepsen coded. I don't care what you guys say, this is one of my favorite restorations of the year. Using it in the Migration trailer was genius marketing. I name dropped this one at least 12 times this year. I am not letting go of it. Pop perfection. Another year of this being one of my top 3 all-time Taylor songs. Just magical, and I'm praying the Taylor's version actually works out. And this is my top Taylor Swift song of the year. You already know it. I've spoken about this track twice, both in my 1989 Vault Tracks video and my top 10 hits of the year video, and I'm still floored by it. Is It Over Now is a masterwork. It is a sprawling epic of a song that matches its sister in composition and theme, Out of the Woods, nearly blow for blow. It's a track that truly feels like a long-lost missing chapter to 1989, an epilogue that reveals the grand story of the record, the story of a woman who lost him but found herself, and truly that was everything. It's brutally honest about the failed relationship that 1989 is based upon, the details about the red blood, white snow, and blue dress, and the emotions. You really feel the anger at the cheating, the desperation to find meaning. The line about wanting to jump off really tall somethings just to see if he'd come back running, illustrating how wounding it really was. Is It Over Now asks the question over and over again in hopes of finding resolution, only to discover that it is over. The tragedy has come to a close. The final lines being "but no" feel like the end. And that's a wrap. Thank you so much for being a part of my channel this year. This video was a last minute little surprise that I had planned out. I didn't know if I was going to be able to record it in time, but I'm glad that I did. This year I added many more Taylor videos that I didn't expect to make, on top of the Lana series that I'm extremely proud of. I want to thank my subscribers, my members, all of you guys. Comment below your list for your top 10 Taylor tracks, and I cannot wait to see you very soon in the new year.